For over 2,000 years, a tomb has remained untouched, sealed so tightly that not even time itself could break through. Beneath a massive earthen pyramid in China lies the final resting place of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor who united the nation and whose obsession with power and immortality built one of the most mysterious graves in human history. Ancient texts warn of deadly traps, rivers of flowing mercury, and secrets that could change everything we know about the past. And now, for the first time, the sealed tomb has been opened. What did they find inside, and why were we warned never to disturb it? Imagine a tomb so ancient that it has outlived dynasties, kingdoms, wars, and revolutions, yet it still stands untouched, sealed in silence. Deep in the heart of Shanxi province, beneath a massive earthen pyramid, lies the final resting place of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Over 2,000 years ago, he unified warring states into a single empire, standardized currency, built roads, and laid the foundation for what we know today as China. But his obsession with power did not end with his life. It extended into death. Historians tell us that when Qin Shi Huang died in 210 BC, his subjects constructed one of the most ambitious burial sites ever imagined. The emperor demanded a tomb so vast, so magnificent, that it would mirror his empire underground. And so began decades of secret construction, with hundreds of thousands of workers toiling day and night, shaping a subterranean palace fit for a god. To keep its mysteries safe, the location of the tomb was hidden, the workers silenced, and the entrance sealed. For more than 2 millennia, no one has set foot inside the central chamber. Think about that. While empires rose and fell, while the Great Wall expanded across the land, while the world transformed through centuries of change, this tomb remained locked, waiting, guarding its secrets. Unlike the pyramids of Egypt, where explorers broke through chambers long ago, Qin Shi Huang's tomb has resisted time, curiosity, and even the most determined archaeologists. Why? Because the legends surrounding it are terrifying. Ancient records warn of rivers of mercury flowing through its halls, of crossbows set to fire automatically on intruders, of curses designed to punish anyone who dares disturb the emperor's eternal sleep. And so, for 2,000 years, the tomb has been left sealed, silent, untouched. But today, that silence may finally be broken. Beneath the mound of earth that towers above the plains of Shanxi lies what ancient historians described as nothing less than an underground palace of wonders. Imagine it, a city hidden beneath the soil, crafted not from wood or stone, but from treasures fit for the ruler who called himself the first emperor of all under heaven. The mound itself rises like a man-made mountain, but it is only the surface. According to texts written by the Han Dynasty historian Sima Qian, the tomb beneath was designed as a replica of the emperor's entire empire. Palaces, towers, treasures, and landscapes, all recreated underground so Qin Shi Huang could continue his reign in the afterlife. Picture an emperor who believed death was merely a continuation of power. Inside his tomb, artisans constructed vast halls filled with gold, jade, and priceless artifacts. They even painted the ceilings with stars and constellations, creating an eternal sky for the emperor to gaze upon. Every detail was meant to reflect his glory, his dominance, and his belief that in death he would rule forever. And unlike any other tomb in history, this was not just a burial chamber, it was an empire buried alive. The pyramid-shaped mound above was only a marker. The true Palace of Wonders lies hidden, unseen, and still holding mysteries that no living eye has ever witnessed. For centuries, legends and records have fueled imaginations. What treasures lie buried? What secrets of ancient China are frozen in time beneath that earth? The tomb is not just a grave, it is an entire world, sealed away for over 2,000 years. One of the most chilling and fascinating details about Qin Shi Huang's tomb comes from ancient texts that describe something no other burial site has ever dared to contain: rivers of flowing mercury. Yes, liquid metal, coursing like streams through the underground palace said to represent the great rivers of China, the Yangtze, the Yellow River, and even the mighty seas. Why mercury? To Qin Shi Huang, it was not just a metal, it was a key to immortality. Obsessed with living forever, the emperor consumed mercury-based elixirs during his life, believing they would make him eternal. Ironically, those very potions may have hastened his death. But even in death, he carried his obsession with him by ordering rivers of mercury to flow inside his tomb. He created a kingdom where he could symbolically rule over land and water forever. Modern science adds a haunting twist to this legend. Studies of the soil around the burial mound have shown abnormally high levels of mercury, far beyond natural explanation. It seems the stories were not exaggerations. Those deadly rivers may still be flowing inside, sealed off for more than 2 millennia. But this also explains why the tomb has remained untouched. touched. Imagine the danger. Opening the chamber could release toxic vapors, poisoning anyone who dares step inside. The rivers meant to secure the Emperor's power may also serve as his deadliest defense. So the question remains, are these rivers of mercury a treasure of history, or a lethal trap waiting for the first person bold enough to break the seal? If the rivers of mercury weren't enough to terrify intruders, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang was said to be armed with something even deadlier, booby traps designed to kill. Ancient records describe an intricate system of crossbows rigged to fire automatically at anyone who dared to break inside. Think about it. Over 2,000 years ago, engineers and craftsmen created a defense system so advanced it was meant to keep the Emperor's secrets safe for eternity. Crossbows hidden in walls, arrows ready to fire the moment a door was opened or a passage disturbed. Even today, archaeologists fear these ancient traps could still function if the tomb is breached, and it didn't stop with weapons. Some legends claim hidden chambers were designed to collapse on intruders, suffocating them in an instant. Others believe poisonous gases and deadly mechanisms lie dormant beneath the soil, waiting for the first person bold or foolish enough to step inside. These traps were not just protection, they were the Emperor's command from beyond the graves. Disturb my rest and you will pay the price. That's why, unlike the Egyptian pyramids, eventually forced their way in, Qin Shi Huang's central tomb chamber has never been opened. For over 2 millennia, no one has risked unleashing the Emperor's deadly defenses, and yet the question burns brighter than ever. What secrets are worth dying for inside that silent tomb? In 1974, farmers digging a simple well in Shanxi made a discovery that stunned the world. The Terracotta Army, buried for over 2 millennia, row after row of life-sized clay warriors emerged from the earth, each one unique, each one crafted with astonishing detail. Over 8,000 soldiers, along with horses, chariots, and generals, stood in formation, guarding the Emperor's tomb. They were not just statues, they were silent sentinels, created to protect Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife. From their armor to their hairstyles, no two figures were identical. Every face seemed alive, as if real soldiers had been reborn in clay to serve their emperor forever. And here's the most chilling part. The Terracotta Army was only the beginning. These warriors were stationed in the outer complex, miles away from the central tomb itself. If such incredible craftsmanship and power were devoted just to the defenses outside, then what unimaginable wonders or horrors lie within the sealed chamber? The discovery of the Terracotta Army revealed only a fraction of the Emperor's vision. It was a glimpse into a burial site so vast, so meticulously planned, that it dwarfed anything the world had ever seen before. And it raised one haunting question. If this was just the guard, what exactly are they protecting? For decades after the Terracotta Army's discovery, archaeologists faced the same burning temptation to open the central chamber of Qin Shi Huang's tomb. Yet, despite the lure of unimaginable treasures and historical secrets, not a single person dared to break its seal. Why? Because the risks outweighed the rewards. The chamber is believed to be so delicate, so perfectly preserved, that opening it without the right technology could destroy everything inside in an instant. The wooden structures might collapse when exposed to air. Ancient paintings could fade to nothing in seconds. Priceless artifacts could turn to dust. And then there are the dangers, the mercury rivers, the possible traps, and the unknown consequences of disturbing what was designed never to be touched. For centuries, rulers, robbers, and researchers alike chose caution. The central tomb remained a forbidden place, not because it couldn't be reached, but because it shouldn't be. While the Terracotta Army gave the world a glimpse of the Emperor's vision, the heart of his empire has remained hidden, sealed in darkness for over 2,000 years. It is a silence so heavy, so intentional, that many believe opening it could unleash not just history, but danger itself. For modern scientists, the greatest challenge of Qin Shi Huang's tomb has never been just opening it. It's what might happen after it's opened. Ancient texts spoke of rivers of mercury flowing inside, and soil tests around the mound revealed alarmingly high levels of the toxic metal. That means the dangers are real. If disturbed, those mercury vapors could escape into the air, poisoning archaeologists and contaminating the environment. Imagine stepping inside a chamber that has been sealed for 2,000 years, only to breathe in invisible death. The risk is terrifyingly high, and then there's the preservation issue. The moment the tomb is opened, air, moisture, and light will rush in. Wooden structures could rot instantly. Ancient fabrics could disintegrate. Paints and pigments that have survived in perfect darkness might fade to nothing within seconds. What took thousands of years to protect could be destroyed in minutes. That is why, even with modern equipment, scientists have hesitated. To break the seal carelessly would mean losing the greatest archaeological treasure before the world even has a chance to see it. In many ways, the tomb is both a gift from the past and a deadly trap of its own making. For centuries, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang was left sealed, too dangerous and too fragile to touch. But today, science may finally hold the key. With advances in archaeology and technology, researchers now believe they can begin exploring the tomb without destroying it. Instead of digging blindly, they use ground-penetrating radar, 3D mapping, and remote sensing to see beneath the earth without breaking through. These tools allow scientists to detect chambers, corridors, and even objects hidden underground, painting a picture of the tomb's layout without ever lifting a single stone. Even more groundbreaking are the new preservation techniques. Scientists have developed methods to stabilize ancient wood, seal delicate fabrics, and protect pigments from fading once exposed to air. Controlled microenvironments with regulated temperature and humidity could make it possible to open sections of the tomb without triggering immediate decay. For the first time in history, it seems possible to step closer to Qin Shi Huang's chamber without dooming it to collapse. The Emperor's tomb may finally give up its secrets, but carefully, methodically, and under the watchful eye of technology that simply didn't exist before. Still, even with these advancements, one haunting question remains. Once the seal is broken, will humanity be ready for what lies inside? The moment the news spread that Qin Shi Huang's tomb might finally be explored, the world held its breath. Scholars, scientists, and enthusiasts debated fiercely. What lies beneath that massive mound? Treasure beyond imagination, priceless artifacts, or deadly traps waiting to strike? Some argue that the tomb could rewrite history. Hidden within might be scrolls, inscriptions, or relics revealing the emperor's reign in ways no text has captured. Perhaps even secrets about ancient China's technology, governance, or rituals. Knowledge lost for over 2,000 years. Others warn of grave dangers. Rivers of mercury could still flow, toxic vapors might escape, or traps long forgotten could turn the tomb into a lethal chamber. Many question whether humanity is ready to face such unknown risks just for the sake of curiosity. Even more ethical questions arise. Should we disturb a resting place that has been sealed for centuries? Is it right to risk the destruction of a marvel in pursuit of knowledge? The debate rages on, and the tension is palpable. Every breakthrough brings hope of discovery and fear of catastrophe. The world watches caution, wondering what secrets lie in the darkness of the first emperor's eternal palace. One thing is certain, whatever is revealed or remains hidden will captivate generations for centuries to come. And now, we arrive at the final and most tantalizing question. Could opening Qin Shi Huang's tomb become the greatest archaeological discovery in history, or a dangerous curse waiting to be unleashed? For over 2,000 years, this ancient emperor's final resting place has remained hidden, guarding secrets, treasures, and possibly even dangers that no living person has witnessed. Every artifact, every corridor, every clay warrior could tell a story about an empire, a ruler, and a civilization that shaped the world. But with discovery comes risk. Mercury, traps, and the fragility of ancient materials make every attempt a delicate dance between history and hazard. The tomb is both a gift from the past and a warning, reminding us that some mysteries were never meant to be disturbed lightly. And this is where you come in. History is unfolding before our eyes, and the story of Qin Shi Huang's tomb is far from over. If you want to follow every astonishing detail, every breakthrough, and every secret revealed as it happens, make sure you're part of this journey. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us as we step closer into one of the most mysterious and captivating stories the world has ever known.